Still more about me. What do you do when opinions are everywhere? What do you do when it's nothing you want to hear? What do you do when you can't think of what to do? What do you do? Scott Lucas. My mom became a supervisor in the business department at the local university. I was born sometime around then. Everyone was so happy. Mom, grandparents, Aunt Sherry, all so happy for my mom who so desperately wanted a child. Dreams came true, and I was a boy. Another victory. My mom named me Johnny, for obvious reasons. But I wasn't the same as Uncle Johnny. Unfortunately, I was literally a completely different person. So my mom began to raise me with help from her parents. As I've said, they are very good people, the best. My mom and I, were living in an apartment. I have really bizarre memories from this time. I was showered with the absolute most love and affection and presents and everything else. All the toys I could ever want. Birthdays with parties. Things were good. I was happy. I was the little miracle. The dead son come back to life. The dead brother returned in child form. I have a memory from that time. Some kids in the complex wanted me to come to their apartment. It was weird, since they were kind of strangers, but I went with them to their place anyway. And then I felt uncomfortable inside, like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to. Maybe I was. There was an adult there, I think. There was a movie on TV. I can't be too sure about this, but I think it was The Terminator. Something meant for adults. It was violent and scary. I noped right out of there, running away. The kids yelling for me to come back. Jumped on my big wheel, pedaling away. I reached the stairs to our second-story apartment and needed to get up them desperately bad. But I had to bring my big wheel too, and that sucker did not want to get up the stairs so easily. I struggled, was in utter panic, crying, pulling this big wheel as best I could. Then my mom came out. She helped me with the big wheel, then she helped me inside and began comforting me. I don't remember what she did, but I know she worked magic. She took care of me. I was safe with her, and I was relieved. Safe spaces are a real thing, and they must start at home. I have another memory of being up early in the morning and watching the garbage men from the window above them. Oh man, was that the coolest thing ever. They had a huge robot truck with arms, and these guys were big, strong men. It was so impressive. I'd watch the garbage men because they took care of the garbage and worked with the robot car, just like in the cartoons. Maybe you'll be a garbage man, I can remember my mom saying. And I thought that would be pretty darn great. As they say on The Grabowskis, there's good times and there's bad times, but mostly bad. What I mean is things started going horribly wrong. The stress from being a single parent, working a full-time job, and suffering from an undiagnosed brain injury caused a rapid decline in her mental health. I also have no idea at all how I acted or behaved as a child. I could have been an angel, could have been a devil. Who knows? But things got bad for Mary Beth very quickly. I can remember a grease fire that started in the kitchen. Flames shot up and I was scared to death and convinced the apartment was going to burn down. I ran and hid inside of a cardboard box, because I am very smart, you see. My mom put the fire out and tried to convince me to come out of the box. I remember crying, screaming, being very afraid. Felt super bad about that, like I was overreacting and making everything worse and not trusting my mom. I feel pretty silly about it now. But things got worse after the grease fire. And I really don't know how all of that happened or what happened with me. I was taken away into my grandparents' custody, and my poor mom's mental health just deteriorated. She lost her job, kept an apartment for a while, and was allowed supervised visitation. I did not understand that stuff, and still don't. My mom started becoming childlike, regressing, maybe, retreating into something that was safe and familiar. Maybe she couldn't understand what was happening in her life. I can remember my grandpa telling me that Mary Beth had told him She was aware of something happening to her. She could feel a change taking place in her head, and she didn't like it. She knew she needed to fight it, and she did fight it, but she lost. We'll get to it.